Greetings from Florida. We're working on a Mini Cooper. The 02 to 05 take a different regulator than the 06 to 08, but the process is roughly the same. You got to get that armrest off by pushing in on that plastic nub right there, and then you can slide it off. Then you've got 3 Torx 30 bolts. Little magnet comes in handy. 2 of them are longer than one of them, so just keep that in mind. You have a Torx bolt behind that airbag cover. This piece has to come off carefully. This had been glued on before, so I'm taking it off as best I can without damaging it. Taking off that other Torx bolt. Panel comes off pretty easy. A lot of room to work in there. You're going to need some kind of a wrench. Ideally, the BMW wrench designed for this is best. Hopefully I'll show it to you right now. Right there. Or you can do a search for it on the BMW wrench. You're turning the bolts, and they're big. They're the size of your palm. On the other side, you're turning them as if they were put on from the outside of the car. So it's still righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but it's going to be backwards from where you are. So to go to loosen it, you're going to go to your right from inside the car. And this can take a minute or two. You're going to line it up on these teeth just right. Before I had this BMW tool, I would use an open mouthed wrench. And that seemed to do the trick too, but this is a little bit easier. It's still a pain to get these off. Once you do get them off, spray them with a little bit of WD-40 to make it easier to get them back on. And you're welcome to fast forward through some of this if you need to. By the way, if you find this video helpful, do me a favor, like, L-I-K-E, like the video. That'll help other people find it on YouTube, and that helps me immensely, and I appreciate that. Yeah, once you get it loose, you should be able to get it off with your hand. Then, I should have done this first, line up the regulator. Make sure you get the right part. I was pretty sure that I did, but you might want to take a look at it. Take the glass out, slide it over there. You've got 3 screws that hold the motor mount on. 1, 2, 3. Those are easy enough. I also took off the handle and let it dangle just so I could get access to the bolts behind it. There's a bolt right there. 10mm bolts. One right there, and I think the other 2 are on the bottom. Yes, correct. Just getting off the cover. Oh, no, I take that back. I'm taking off the bolt. I guess I didn't have enough clearance with the drill, so I'm using a wrench. Once you're good there, unplug the motor. Oh yes, at the top there's a plastic, I guess you can call it a clip, that holds the cables in place. So you're gonna need to, I think there's two of them actually. So you're gonna need to open up those clips a bit to get the cables out. Try not to break them, because otherwise you can drill a couple holes and secure them with cable ties. But the clips are the easiest, best way to use it. Then once you get everything out, you just need to take the motor off. Hopefully I'll show you a little bit about that. Oh, you've got one screw that holds the motor to the regulator. I'm prying the motor out of the regulator. Take off the cable tie that's keeping it from unraveling. You'll find it a challenge to get that the teeth from the gear into the new regulator. I don't know why it's such a problem, but it is. After you get those three screws in, didn't really show you too well, but you're going to anchor that back onto the regulator and put in the one screw that holds that in place. All right, let's slide it back in. And there may be two openings on the bottom where you can put those posts through. Make sure you use the right one. Use the one you've already used, obviously. And the reason there's some play front to back on those holes on the bottom is so that you can move the regulator back to front if you need to have the glass tilt more into the cockpit of the car or away from the cockpit of the car to line it up properly. Keep in mind, you're welcome to skip ahead at any time in the video. Now I'm putting those cables into those two plastic clips at the top. Just keeps them from getting tangled on the glass as it goes up and down. And now put the screws back into the mount that holds the motor in place. 3 Phillips screws. Carefully get the glass, slide it back in. Now I'm putting those big bolts, I guess you'd call them, retainers, back into through the glass, into the regulator. And now you're going to see a lot of adjustment, because to get this to line up properly, it needs to be just right. So you'll have to loosen those bolts, slide the glass back or forth or up or down. Yeah, right now what you're looking at is me lining it up with the door. And then once you get it to where you think want it to be, you'll want to tighten down the bolts a little bit. Don't over tighten them, you'll break the glass, but tighten them down enough so they're not going to loosen up. Again, you're welcome to skip to the next part of this if you want. You get the idea, but you're going to get to see the whole thing. This is a working farm. So it looks like I finally found a place I was happy with. So now I'm tightening down those bolts a bit with the BMW tool, which you can buy online. You can get them on eBay or Amazon. Let's test it out again. Hopefully I was happy with it. Nope. Still got a little more to tweak. And the rest of it you should be able to follow along as far as putting the panel back on. If you have any questions, please ask them right here on YouTube. I'd be glad to answer them. If you found this beneficial, please like the video. Good luck with it and have a good day.